Hey guys, this is MugenLord, and let's get straight into the good stuff. So for starters, just last week a new Sonic game was announced, and boy have this game had the Sonic fanbase talking. So, for those of you who don't follow any of the Sonic news, then I will tell you that Sega has announced a new Sonic game called Sonic Boom. And from the looks of it, it seems like Sega has a lot of faith in this title, just because they have a CG animated series coming to Cartoon Network and a product line of toys in the works. But the biggest piece of detail that has the Sonic community bickering back and forth about is Sonic and his crew's newest design. Now, when I first looked at the trailer, the design of the game didn't give off a Sonic Team vibe to it. It looked more something from Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank type of feel to it. Then when I rewatched the trailer, I noticed that there was a different studio involved with this game and not Sonic Team. This game studio is called Big Red Button Entertainment. Now, I will get into more detail about that in a bit, but first, let's talk about Sonic and his crew's newest designs. Just by looking at them, you notice that they have bandages wrapped around certain parts of their body, which, in a sense, doesn't really serve a real purpose in the game, but most likely they put those small little details there just to make them, I guess, blend in to the new environment that Big Red Button Studio has established for the game. The funniest thing is the fact that some of the die-hard Sonic fans are crying about the scar around Sonic's neck and his arms are no longer skin tone and now they are completely blue. It doesn't really bother me, but to each their own, right? Now, Tails looks the same to me, but I'm getting a bit more of a badass feel from him. Now, this time around he has his mechanic pack and goggles to further emphasize his inventor capabilities. Then you have Amy Rose. Not much has really changed as far as her design is concerned, but I can guarantee you that her personality has changed from the annoying stereotypical damsel in distress fangirl to something more reserved and deadly just by the screenshots and gameplay. If you notice, when Sonic and the rest of the team were falling through the cavern, she was the only one that landed on her feet like a badass. So, let's talk about Knuckles for a second. It looks like he was the only character that had a major overhaul. The design had the Sonic community bothered the most, but to me, I am welcome to the design. It looks like Big Red Button Entertainment wanted to put emphasis on their attributes and traits. It's obviously clear that Knuckles is the brute of the team. So, now that being said, let's talk about the new studio behind this game. Now, everyone knows the Sonic game cycle, and there are some fans out there that is already counting this game out as a failure. Then there are others who are skeptical about the game. Now, when it comes to a Sonic game, with me, I never get really excited about all their games when watching trailers for them. Sonic Adventure 1, 2, Colors, and Generation was the complete opposite for me. I got excited when I seen the trailer, and they ended up being great Sonic games. The other ones I wasn't too sure of, and they ended up being bad to mediocre at best. But this game is different, and I feel that this game has massive potential, especially if you know who's behind the development of this title. First off, it's Bob Raffett, founder, CEO, creative and visual director of Big Red Button Entertainment. He was the first employee that was hired by Naughty Dog and worked on the original Uncharted game, Crash Bandicoot, and the Jak and Daxter games. Then you have Jeff Lander, the lead engineer and technical director, who also brought you the True Crime series. So, my faith in this title has been set a bit higher than any other Sonic title. After Nintendo announced their financial losses, and with the lack of Nintendo Wii U install base, now they are looking to license their franchise to other studios. The same can be said with Sega. They are letting a Western developer give their take on the Blue Hedgehog. I think it's about time that Sonic have a breath of fresh air when it comes to the overall mechanics of his games. Now, rest assured, Big Red Button Entertainment said that the elements in what makes a Sonic game feel like a Sonic game will still be intact, but now he has an open world to play in. This game looks like it may have improved the Sonic Heroes mechanic. I thought that was a good game, but I felt, it was short on certain things, like the mechanic of switching between teammates to handle certain feats. The problem with that was the fact that they really didn't feel that much different from one another. But with Sonic Boom, it looks like it will put more emphasis in their unique gameplay. Another thing I noticed about the game, it looks like it may have a compelling storyline this time around with plot-driven sequences, which I feel as though a Sonic game desperately needs. Now, the game looks gorgeous, and that's because it's running off on the CryEngine 3. They totally abandoned the Hedgehog engine for this title, and that's a good thing. So, let's see what the Wii U can do with this game. But what bothers me the most is the fact that some die-hard fans are crying and complaining about their new designs as if this will replace their canon appearance. Sega had announced on Twitter that these designs would not replace the original designs of the characters. Sonic Boom will be a completely new franchise in its own right and will exist alongside the original Sonic game. So, Sonic Team will still be working on a traditional Sonic game, so relax guys. So, that about wraps everything up. So let me know what you guys think about this new Sonic title. Are you excited for it? Do you think that Sonic needs some Western touches to it? And if this game becomes a success, what do you think will happen to the original Sonic games in the future? This is MugenLord, signing off.